everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Cooking Vibes with Vivi. Today I will be having people over for dinner, and I keep making that mistake. We will be making Pioneer Woman's chicken pot pie. Alright, this recipe of chicken pot pie calls for 3 celery stalks, 3 medium carrots, and you have to peel them ahead of time, 1 large yellow onion, 4 tablespoons or a half stick of butter, a half cup of frozen peas, 2 cups of cooked chicken, and you'll have to cook the chicken and shred it ahead of time, and season the chicken however you'd like. I season it with a little bit of garlic, salt, and pepper. A quarter cup of all-purpose flour, 2 cups of low-sodium chicken broth, 1 chicken bouillon cube, a quarter cup of wine, which is optional. I choose not to add that in because no one in my household drinks wine. A cup of heavy cream, 1 teaspoon of ground thyme, a teaspoon of kosher salt just to add taste, black pepper to taste, and a half recipe of the perfect pie crust, which I can show you how to do in another video. This is the pie crust, but that's for another time. Now let's head into the kitchen to get all those ingredients out. Alright, kids, you might want to get an adult for this part. We have our celery, and I'm doubling the recipe so I have 6 celery stalks instead of 3. But I just washed our celery, and now we're going to cut the ends off, the white ends. Place that to the side. I'm going to do that with the rest of the celery. Alright, so now that they've all cut off the leaves and the ends, you're now going to cut them each lengthwise, and then gonna cut them up. This should be not too hard. Alright, so now my mom has helped me a bit because I was cutting it wrong. So we are going to cut it lengthwise. And it doesn't have to be pretty. Kind of just want to just cut it. And since this will be going into an onion and cream mixture, they also kind of want to be small. Alright, welcome back. We now have our aprons on, hands washed, and all of our ingredients, such as our 2 cups of cooked chicken, which is already shredded. Sorry. And since I'm doubling, you have to take away 2 of what I'm doing. You have to divide what I'm doing by 2. So I have 4 cups of low sodium chicken broth, but you would have 2 cups. I have my onions, carrots, and I have my 1 large yellow onion in here. It would be 2, but this was a jumbo. So 3 medium carrots, peeled, diced, and 3 celery stalks, peeled and diced, not peeled, diced. And now we have our 4 tablespoons, half stick, of butter, a half cup of our frozen peas, well, 1 cup of frozen peas, our half cup of heavy cream. Heavy cream, woman. Right, 2 cups of heavy cream, a teaspoon of thyme, teaspoon of Better Than Bouillon chicken cube, half cup of all-purpose flour, salt and pepper to taste. Alright, so we have our big pan that we used to cook our chicken in from earlier, and we are going to take our butter, alright, so we're going to turn our heat on the pan on medium-high. We're going to pour in the butter. Alright, so now you can see a little thing. I need to take a wooden spoon, just move it around, and the little chicken juice from earlier. And this is optional. You could take a totally different pan to make this with. But I enjoy to keep it in the chicken grease. All right. Spoon down. Sorry. All right. So now we are going to add in all that and all our peas. Okay. This move it around. Kind of just want to move it around a lot. Let it kind of soak. Okay. You kind of just want to mix this around. Alright, now let's see what our cookbook says to do next. Alright, so now we are just going to keep mixing it around until the vegetables are translucent, aka the onions are see-through. Which this should only take a couple of minutes. Alright, now we are just mixing it around. Like I said before, it shouldn't really take too long, just a couple of minutes. As you can see by the chicken sauce, the stuff starts to brown. Alright, so now my onions are getting kind of see-through. So now we will be adding in our shredded chicken. Alright, so now that the chicken is all mixed in, we're going to sprinkle in the flour evenly. Shoot. Well, someone stirs for you. Alright. Okay, so now we will be adding in chicken broth while stirring very slowly. You kind of want to rotate it around everywhere so it all soaks it in. adding in our 1 teaspoon, or half a teaspoon for some of you, bouillon. It's not coming out. Just going to pour it in, then we're going to mix it in. Now that that's in, we are just going to mix this around. All right, now that that is all mixed in, we add in our 2 cups or 1 cup of heavy cream. Well, just like we did with the broth, you want to get it everywhere. Let's get it all out. All right, like so. To mix this in. Alright, so now that this is all mixed in, we are going to set a 6 or 7 minute timer, or 4 if you do not double it, the recipe, to let it simmer and then. Alright, so this is now pretty thick, so we can add in our seasonings, such as our thyme. Just a bit of salt. And a bit of black pepper. Alright, once all those seasonings are mixed in, you can take a little measuring cup, and the little chef who has cooked can do a quick little taste test to make sure all the seasonings are done correctly.
Don't eat over the food.
Hot, but good.
No one can see. Do it.
Alright, so now we will be doing the pie crust. I have already pre-made this, and I put it in the freezer, and it is lightly defrosted now. I will show you how to make the pie crust next time I make this, which might be soon. Probably soon. So we are adding this onto a little pie platter, I guess you could say, that is lightly floured. You're just gonna take it all out. We're gonna put a little bit of flour onto it. Can kind of put it all together. Then you're going to want to roll it out. This actually shouldn't take too long. And if some of the pie crust is sticking to your rolling pin, you can add some flour to your rolling pin so it doesn't stick as much. Just gonna keep rolling it out until it looks long enough to cover about a casserole dish or whatever dish you'll be using for your chicken pot pie. And if nothing's really happening with the rolling pin, you can kind of just mash it all together with your hands and then roll it out when you're done, like I am. Kind of mixing it all together right now. Alright, so the ends don't have to be completely perfect, but this is pretty good and big enough for my casserole dish. So we're just pouring in, well, my mom is pouring in the chicken pot pie filling into the casserole dish. And we put the casserole dish not too far from our pie crust, which is right here. So it wouldn't have to move too far. And our oven should be preheated at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Mix that up a bit. Right. Next, we're just going to pick up the pie crust and place it on, and then we will bake it at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. Or at least until this is golden brown. And then before you serve, let it cool for 10 minutes. We will now bake it at 400 degrees for 30 minutes or until the crust is golden brown. If it overflows just a little while it's baking, that's okay. The end result should be pretty tasty.